Hello, my name is Lance, and I am a California private investigator. I've been a private investigator since 2001, working criminal defense investigations, spousal child support investigations, infidelity with cheating partner investigations, workers' comp investigations, civil investigations. I do computer skip trace searches on people, license plates, email addresses, the whole nine yards. And I've got a whole bunch of stories that are interesting that starting this podcast. It's Lance the PI, Private Investigator podcast, where I can share my stories and my journey with you. We just finished a surveillance this morning here in Sacramento County, because I'm in California. I predominantly do Sacramento County. So we did a surveillance this morning. It was kind of interesting. Followed the husband from home. He was supposed to be going to work, didn't go to work, ended up going to a parking lot of a grocery store. And he went inside the store and came back out. And when he came back out, he ended up going to the car that was parked next to him. It was a woman. They was kissing through the window, and he got on the passenger side. And he was inside the car for about 30 minutes. Then he left, and he went to work. So, I document everything with my camcorder, and I keep a log. And so I will give that to the client, at the end of the investigation. So that's just a typical thing that private investigators do. Most of the time it's boring. You just sit there. Okay. Anything going on? Okay. I'm looking at my window and I don't see anything. That's most of the cases are like that. So sometimes you get a little activity where you gotta be quick on your senses to catch what's going on. Different states have different requirements for becoming a private investigator. Like in California, you have to have 6,000 hours of investigative experience. So I was a police officer for over 12 years with the Sacramento Police Department. So that's how I got my investigative experience. Now in California, if you have a college degree, that can count towards your investigative experience as well. It's not going to take much, but I think they take off like 2,000 hours of your investigative, for your investigative experience if you have a college degree. And you also have to take a state exam in California. It's a state exam. And then you have to have a clean, you got to get a live scan fingerprint to make sure you've got a clean record. That's how you become a private investigator in California. Other states are different, but California is usually stricter than everybody else. When it comes to licensing requirements for anything, and California license everything because they want their piece of the pie of everything that's going on. This podcast, make sure that you, on my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell notification so you can be notified when I upload additional videos or podcast interviews, because I'm actually going to be interviewing private investigators from nationwide, even worldwide, private investigators. So if you're a private investigator and you want to get interviewed on a podcast, there's a link in the video description there. You can click it and sign up to be a podcast guest. But I'm going to interview private investigators worldwide so we can see and hear some of the exciting things that they've done and, some of the cases that they've worked on. I mean, because the world of private investigating is interesting. If you're on surveillance, it's boring. I mean, keep it real. Boring. You're sitting here, okay, is anything going on for hours? Nothing goes on. But when you're doing investigations like criminal defense work, stuff like that, where you're actually interviewing people, gathering evidence and stuff like that. Oh, let me turn that down. I monitor the police scanners as well in the Sacramento region. And if it's a good call, I'll respond and share that in a live stream with my followers, because I stream live on YouTube and TikTok at the same time when I'm channeling. I call it, you basically listening to the police scanner for good calls to come in. So that's what I do as well. And sometimes I'll live stream while I'm actually doing private investigator work, but you won't know. So you always got to have your head on a swivel. See who's coming up. That's part of it. got to have your head on a swivel because I'm parked in a not great area right now. And got a lot of homeless people around here and a lot of pharmaceutical sales, out here. I mean, it wasn't today, but I've had people come knock on my window, want to see if I wanted to buy some pharmaceuticals. Like, nope. And also a lot of, how can I say it? 304s, if you know what that means. It's a streetwalker type, try to come up and solicit me. And I'm like, nope. But usually I'm not on a surveillance when that goes on. Cause if I'm on a surveillance, I usually have the windows blacked out, so that, you really can't see. Sometimes I'll put my curtain up like this to black the window out. So you really, really can't see what's going on in the car. Sometimes I keep it down. Just depends on where I'm at, what I'm doing. But kind of the cases that I work on are criminal defense. So what a criminal defense case is, what's that? Woo! I guess that does that when you put your thumbs up. It gives you something. Okay, cool. That's interesting. Bring it on. Bring it on. Make sure you subscribe, click that bell notification. But I work on criminal defense cases. So if you get arrested, the DA has investigators out interviewing witnesses to find evidence to use against you. Would you like to have somebody interview some of your own witnesses to help show that you're innocent or show that you weren't as at fault as they think you were at fault? Well, I work with defense attorneys out gathering evidence, interviewing witnesses, canvassing crime scenes. So go knocking on everybody's door to ask them, did they see anything? And that's one of the things I do. And one of the things is that I learned early on is while I'm out doing that and interviewing witnesses, don't write up a statement until I tell the attorney what the statement was about, because they got to turn over the statements to the DA. So they only want to turn over statements that are good for the client. They don't want to involve, me out there investigating against the client. So it's up to their own investigators to find that witness that said they saw him do it, not me. I'm not going to go give that to the defense, turn that in. I do infidelity type cases like I had her today, where I'm watching, husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends, fiancés. And this is a funny one. This is a funny one I just had. A person called me yesterday. The side chick called me. She wanted to find out where the fiance of her boyfriend, she wanted to find out where the fiance lived and wanted me to take her to the fiance so she could tell her that she was the side chick. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not, this is not that TV show. This ain't Cheaters. I don't have a bunch of bodyguards to protect you. So no, we ain't doing that. I do workers' comp cases where a person is injured on the job. They go to the doctor. The doctor gives them limitations on what they can and can't do. Then the employer has some suspicion that something's going on, that they're lying, and they'll hire me to go sit outside, watch them, and document their activities. And I'm going to document whether they show that they're injured or not. Doesn't matter. I'm just gathering facts. So if I show the person coming out with a walker, can't bend over, needs help getting off the ground, all that's going to be documented with video and with, I'm going to log it as well. I do child custody kind of cases as well. And a common one is where the one parent says they're living one place and they're not. So they hire me to film where they're at and document the new address that they're living in. And, I'll write a report, present video evidence. I do computer searches also, like license plate lookup. So if you have like a license plate and you need to find out the registered owner's name and address, I can get that for you. Or if you have a employee or an independent contractor that you hired and you need to get their SSN, or if you had a judgment against somebody, you need your SSN to collect that judgment, I can look that up for you. or if you have an email address that you don't recognize, I can find out who that email address belongs to, who else has been using it. Same thing with a phone number, and same thing with an IP address. So there's a way to get an IP address. I think like if somebody sends you an email, I think you can get their IP address off the email somehow. And you want to find out who it belongs to, if and so I can check that as well. I want to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the bell notification so you can be notified when I upload additional videos. Okay, so make sure you subscribe and like this video and share this video, because this is that podcast that this is my first one. So it's probably going to be kind of rough. I'll get better with some music playing and bells and whistles. Let's see. Is this going to pop up again? Bam! There we go. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Whoa, I like that. If I do one finger, what happens? Boom, thumbs up. Yeah, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. I wonder if I stick up the middle finger, even though that ain't the middle finger. Does anything happen now? Nope. Okay. Let's see what else. And so if anybody needs a hire private investigator, all you got to do is reach out to me. My contact information will be on my website, lancethepi.com, LANCETHEPI.com. You go to my website, has my contact information. There'll also be in the video description. I don't know if it's going to be above or below, but in the video description is a link to my website, and it'll have my phone number on there where you can text me. If you want to just send a text, you can do that as well. That'll be in the link in the website as well. And I have a book titled How to Become a Private Investigator. So if you want to find out how to become a private investigator, I'm going to try to put a picture up somewhere on here, but there's a book that I wrote titled How to Become a Private Investigator. That's on the website also. There's a link in the video description. And I'm working with another private investigator to put together a private investigator course where we teach you the ins and outs of being a private investigator, from report writing, interviewing witnesses, things like that. That'll be coming up, available, around the first couple of weeks of January of 2024. So there'll be a link to my website that describes the course in the description also, where you can go there and you can see the information on when this course starts. And that course is powerful. I mean, and it's got some good information to teach you what to do. But make sure you watch my videos, watch my lives, because you'll get training on private investigation work while I'm out. Because literally, let's just say I'm on surveillance right now, even though I'm not, because when I'm really doing surveillance work, you won't see, you wouldn't see this behind me, because you can kind of figure out where I'm at. You got a Starbucks here and you got a Walgreens. How many, even though this is probably very popular, you can probably figure out where I'm at. When I'm on real surveillance work, you won't know where I'm at if I'm live. But lots of times when I'm just monitoring the police scanner while I'm live, it may seem like I'm on a surveillance, and I might act like I'm on a surveillance, but it's mostly just like reenactment kind of stuff, just to get the audience interesting, because it's entertainment. YouTube is entertainment. But if anybody's got any questions about private investigator work, make sure you ask the questions in the comments, and I'll probably make a video about what you're asking. So if you got any questions about private investigator work, I'll make a video about it. Make sure you follow along. I'll be interviewing some PIs here, some real good ones coming up. And it's going to be some hot content, because I got some stories to tell.